5.
Let's go to the other 4. Who's the other 4? Ned Ledoux.
There's Tom
Chris
Horn.
Ledoux.
There's me.
It's hard to name 5. Who's your Wyoming? Josh Allen. He's not from Wyoming.
No, he's not from Wyoming.
Conrad Dobler.
He's
not from Wyoming.
Not from Wyoming. Jay Novacek.
Jay Novacek, not from Wyoming.
Not from Wyoming.
Chancey Williams. Maybe?
Chancey Williams.
Ned might be number 1. Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. He's pretty popular.
I took mine off today. Anyway,
can we just agree to disagree on
did
this?
everybody just blow by that?
Yeah.
I said, thank you. Not on Cowboy Channel. I can say whatever the hell I want. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. I think it's Friday. Is it Friday? Welcome. Welcome to our little soiree we like to call Outside the Barrel for the 19th year. We count Texas. We count Arlington as a year because that counts. Because I think we still got paid by Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like, NFR should move to Texas. Yeah, we still got paid by Las Vegas. So we ain't going anywhere.
At least not for the next 10 years.
No, exactly. So, yeah, our 19th consecutive year here at Cowboy Christmas. Thank you for coming to the original. Sort of like, what I'm stealing from you, sort of like the airlines. We know you have choices of what airline to fly. We're glad you choose this one. So thank you for coming. I would like to welcome some friends. I heard they're here, and I wouldn't do this for any other rodeo, and I'll tell you why. The Medium PRCA Rodeo of the Year, Red Lodge, Montana. There you go. They're right there. I'll tell you why I'll give you that shout out. In the end of 1993, a guy named Jody Klessens. Is Jody around? He was a committee guy. No, he's not here, but is he alive? Okay. Him and the committee came to me and said, Flint, I was just clowning amateur rodeos around Montana. He said, from the Red Lodge Rodeo, if you do whatever it takes to join the PRCA, we will hire you to work our rodeo. So Red Lodge, Montana, technically the first rodeo to ever give me a chance to come and work in the PRCA. It was funny. So that was the summer of 1994. The funny thing was, including Red Lodge, there was about 2 other rodeos that hired another clown to work with me because they didn't trust that I would do a good job.
It's still the same thing here with Las Vegas events.
That's right. They bring him. So, by the way, welcome. We're streaming. Welcome everybody watching at home on all of our social media platforms, on Facebook, on our YouTube channel, airing a little live to tape on Ride Pass on Pluto TV. So thank you for all of you for coming. Those of you at home, welcome. We are having a ball in Las Vegas. That's what we're doing. I have a favor. Sorry.
I didn't do that.
That tripped on a collar. We have a favor. We have a question. And now we can talk about this. We're going to be blunt. We're going to be very blunt. Did social media create stupid people, or did it reveal stupid people? Does anybody have that answer? Both. It
was like giving a chimp a gun, wasn't it?
I just have advice from someone where social media is a necessary evil. Before you do this or this, just stop and go, is this stupid? And if you say no and you still put it and I think it's stupid, then you're stupid. Is that?
So you're telling me not to post anymore?
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. Anyway, this is the statement. If I had a nickel for every time somebody said, where can we watch? Are you on Cowboy Channel? Where can we watch? We can't watch it on Facebook. As they're commenting on Facebook. Anyway, I know it's scary. There's something about being on TV that seems easier, but here we are. And we're doing the greatest show we're ever going to do for 10 days here. So there you go. The comment, and she's probably watching. I don't know who she was. The comment of the week was that when I sit in a chair that's that big, on the screen, the speakers block my feet, and it looks like I'm a tiny man whose feet are not touching the ground. Somehow, the next line was, that's disrespectful. Apparently, her form of disrespectful is different than mine. She said I looked like Lily Tomlin in the big rocking chair. Old people, you know, young people, look it up.
Hey,
Is
guess
this chair that big?
guess who learned how to make a fake Facebook account?
So anyway, by the way, speaking of people commenting, welcome. Tonight is round number 1 of the Wrangler NFR. For people who said, oh man, listen, if you had tickets for last night and couldn't use them, nobody screwed you out of using your tickets. Okay, let's get that straight. They said, oh, PRCA canceled the rodeo. It was a crime scene. I'm not making light of it.
No.
For those of you who don't know, Thomas and Mack Arena is on the campus of UNLV, and it was locked down. So if you wanted to try and go ahead. But the people who said there was a big judgment call, and I thought, my opinion, and I could say this out loud, is that the NFR and the PRCA should have been more forthright in the explanation that, yes, out of respect for those lost, but also we can't get in the building. So keep that in mind. So nobody screwed you out of your tickets. We're sorry it didn't work out, but there's a bunch of parents out there that really could care less about your NFR tickets probably. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, hey, and to be a little preemptive, just before we wrap up here in an hour, I'd like to tell everybody that yes, I am an ambassador of the NFR, but I don't work in ticket sales. I'm not aware of where you get a refund, and I don't know what. I don't have it. I'm not privy to any of that.
Like yesterday, hey, where do we get a refund on our ticket? He owns a liquor store in Laramie, Wyoming. He doesn't know anything. Like, leave Kurt alone. Speaking of getting locked down, the president also flying into the city today. Keep that in mind when you're trying to drive anywhere in this town. When any president comes to town, traffic's a freaking nightmare. So just keep that in mind. And no, I'm not going to talk politics. I'm not going to say anything about the president. That's all I'm going to tell you. But he probably drives really, really slow. Anyway. Never, ever have I joked about politics, have I, Richard? Ever. Oh, that felt so good. Felt so good. Do you have anything to do? Sometimes we do a best and worst. Or do you have anything before we get going today?
Yeah, after yesterday, and I know it was you. Everybody's supposed to remain anonymous, but I said some things yesterday, and I said them in a manner in which I'm sure they weren't received. It wasn't my intention, and I'd like to publicly apologize to you for anything that I may have said. And next time you have a problem, just come to me. Don't do this, okay? I get back to the hotel and I get a phone call. I have to go downstairs. Thanks a lot for that,
You're
pal.
so full of crap. I'm going to admit I stole this next one from you. My other question that I get asked 82 times a day, I ask my daughter. She's with me all the time. How's retirement treating you? Well, I'm here, right? Not retiring, changing jobs. But everybody says, why'd you retire from the arena, man? You could keep going. You keep going. Kurt snapped this picture. Somebody scratched a letter off the sign, but I think it clearly indicates why I retired. That's me getting ready to get in a wheelchair. Who scratched the end? That's hilarious. So anyway, I just figured, that's me. That's why. That little dance move I did, my knee just swelled up. I think this is going to be our best show we've had in 2 days. Today we do have
It'll be in the top 2.
Good group.
Yeah.
By the way, I had a shirt picked out to wear today, a cowboy shirt, but I went over to the Chris Ledoux booth and got the shirt with a horse trailer on a Cadillac.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to have to go to commercial because I can't hold in my belly any longer. So anyway, big show. Colter, Todd, and Derrick Begay are here. Dawson Hay is here. Ned Ledoux is going to sing for us. We got a lot to do. We will be back. Really quick, 30-second break. Back after this.
Growing up, you wanted those older cowboys that you admired to someday call you a cowboy. Nobody can tell you you can't do that if you want to work at it hard enough. If money's super important, I'm doing the wrong thing, but I kind of got to pinch myself because I truly love what I do. It's amazing what you can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit. Just make sure it gets taken care of.
Now we're talking. See, you clap. So we have to create, it's sleight of hand. We have to create the illusion to everyone watching from home that we're having a little party. You know what's fun about people who have never been to Vegas? And you come and you buy a drink and you say, hey, can we walk around with this? Have you done that? Walk wherever you want. I mean, they were smoking in my hallway the other night. So, hey, thanks to our friends at Pendleton Whiskey. We have drink tickets to give away. We got some little packages of someone who might stand out and make a difference in our lives today. So keep that in mind. We can give a drink ticket to the little horse trailer back there. We cannot give away actual booze here, but we will give you something to wear that pretty much says, I really like booze. Look at that lady. She's a, woo! Yeah. Where are you from? Where are you from? Illinois. The S be silent. Good to see you. I owe you. You keep cheering, I'll give you something for free. So as she said. Anyway. Oh, everything is a that's what she said. Keep that in mind as the week goes. Hey, really happy to have these first two guys on the show. I think as I look down in the team roping at the NFR, I picked a team. I didn't predict money they're going to win, nothing, but I picked that they have the greatest story, and they are my favorite team of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Please welcome Derrick Begay and Colter Todd. Fellas. That's yours, Colter. Kind of sit close to him, but that's yours. Okay. I'll tell you one thing you got to be careful of when you invite Derrick Begay to your show. The couch is sold as is. It may be torn on the bottom. Derrick, you got your hooks up. Do you ever take your spurs off a pair of boots?
There's no buckles for a reason there, Flint. No,
Oh, there are no buckles, are
yeah.
there? Huh.
So
That's it.
I leave them on most of the time. I mean, you just never know when you need them.
One thing I've learned, and Colter, I'll defer to you on this. One thing I've learned doing interviews, a lot of times you kind of want to keep things moving. I've learned that Derrick, when you can see his wheels turning, and you just got to sit back and wait, because something's coming, right, Colter?
You better be patient, but if you're patient, it's always worthwhile. Like he's okay. This might come out bad. You would think he's dumb until you know him, and then all of a sudden you're not going to get one on him. You're not going to get one over him, and you really have no idea what he's going to say, do, think. It's been a blast.
I agree, because now we're just going to talk about it. So I followed Derrick on Snapchat because he sends things. I get a Snapchat one day, and the caption says, uh-oh. That's it. Uh-oh. It's two dogs stuck together. You remember, right? That makes sense, doesn't it, Colter?
Yes.
Colter, I want to get to you first. You just went away for about 10 years. I mean, not from as far as being at the NFR. You were here as a header. Cesar de la Cruz you roped with, correct? I understand walking away from the grind and the travel to get back in it. I saw a great post on social media. If any of you see Matt Robertson on Facebook, and he put the greatest post about, not so much about you, but about your family. Because that's hard on a family to suddenly go, you know what, I'm going to go again.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't planned. That's the main thing. It's just a friendship between him and I, and my kids are a Derrick Begay fan, and more so outside working. We got to spend more time cowboying. loved that. So that's kind of how it, in a sense, started, like, in a way, because it wasn't like I was going to do this or even thought about it or even talk to them about it. We were cowboys. That's all we were. I think them being fans of his made it easier for him to say, try
Go
it.
rope with Derrick.
Yes.
Yeah. And but you've talked about, I think it was about 3 years ago, Derrick, you and I. You kind of backed off. You weren't going to try to make the NFR. And I'd say, are you entered at wherever? And you'd go, ugh. And I remember your graphic on your social media. You always say, they just keep dangling that carrot in front of me. That carrot's just still there, isn't it?
Yes, it all starts with, I still love roping. I enjoy competing. I'm actually addicted to it. I mean, it's not all about roping. It's also the atmosphere, be around your friends and stuff like that. But I hate leaving home, and I hate, the traveling and just all the other stuff that goes along with it. But I guess the competing outweighs all the other bad stuff, and getting to rope with Colter and just, I still do it just because I enjoy it.
Do you guys live close together? You're from Arizona as well. Wilcox? So are you close at all? Where?
That depends. Rodeo-wise, yes.
Yeah.
Like Wilcox is in the southeast corner. I'm 80 miles north of Mexico, like about 50 miles west of New Mexico. So if there's no traffic, like in the middle of the night, I can get to his place in about 3.5 hours. Otherwise, it's 5 or 6 with traffic during the day.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, close, but not, you can't throw a rock.
Do you ever go do desert cowboy stuff with this guy?
Yes.
Okay, tell me, it looks to me like I would be scared to death. Of course, I'm not cowboy like you guys. I see the stuff you do. It looks scary to me.
I guess it could. I mean, I think I really don't know. I mean, I guess you could say that, but that's kind of what.
Tell us what you do. Like your daily routine, you're gathering cattle, kind of?
No,
What?
but I was going to tell a little story, but I made the NFR, right? So the last month and a half, I tried to stay away from, I hate to say it like this, but the chance of getting hurt or not doing something dumb, to not be able to, because I'm getting older and qualifying for the finals is getting harder, and it's a hard feat. And especially to do with Colter, I tried to stay away from putting myself into any kind of wrecks or any kind of, I mean, you could get hit walking across the street here just as well, but I tried to keep myself away from going really fast with the horse or trying to catch something, or the only way I can keep myself out of it is to stay away from it. So the last month and a half, I've been trying to be more in control of what I do and use my head a little bit more. So that was, I think, the first time that's ever come to my mind a little bit. So maybe it comes with age.
It does a little bit, like, from what I hear. But don't you catch wild cattle out in the desert? Or do they belong to anybody? Because I see you with cattle like tied together crossing a river. Like, it may be normal to you, Derrick Begay, but that's scary crap to me.
It's all part about where we're from and the terrain and the country and the way things operate there. It's some people might scratch their head when they come, but if you actually come, you'll understand. Like, okay, now I know why you do this, or now before I thought you guys were not very smart cowmen, and there's easier ways to do it. I could have done this or I could have done that, but if you actually go to the country and see how the cows are worked and the way they do it and stuff, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I understand how. So it's hard to explain.
Yeah, but to me, I maybe think a little different. You guys won the Pendleton Roundup, the team roping at the Pendleton Roundup. There you go. That's when you guys won, it made sense to me because it's a whole different setup. For people that don't know, the steers get out here to there, out in front of you. You're on grass. Is there something you guys know from doing real cowboy stuff out on the prairie that other guys don't make it a little easier at the Pendleton Roundup, or did that ever cross your mind?
I say no. I mean, it's definitely kind of a cowboy setup more. You know, you're chasing something with potential of a catastrophe just doing it. But as far as us, my personal opinion of having an edge, I say no. It's just more of it has a cowboy feel to it, so I like it a lot. And it just worked out this year that we did good, drew right? You still got to draw good.
Right.
But so I say no as far as us having an edge. It's just more at home feeling because I was scared. I mean, but not scared enough not to do it. I guess so when you said, is it scary, you want to say yes, outside, like working cattle the way a lot of us do in Arizona or in that country. But that's part of it. I mean, that's what's the joy of it for us, I think, is this, when you get done and be like, were you scared? And you lie and say no.
I don't lie. Pendleton scares me. Pendleton scares
The
me.
Pendleton Roundup does?
Yeah, it's my favorite rodeo. It doesn't make sense. It's my favorite rodeo, but it scares me every time I go there.
There's some things in Pendleton have scared me before. It's for people. I used to hear it's the most unique rodeo in the world, and it never made sense to me till I went. And is there another rodeo where you get as many prizes and as much stuff as when you win the Pendleton Roundup?
No, there ain't nowhere close. We roped in Pendleton, and as soon as we got done, we had to get on an airplane to Albuquerque. And I felt bad for the person I left to gather all the awards and bring them home for us. And that was Dalton Pierce. There's so much stuff. I mean, saddles and everything you could imagine, and it's fun. So we never got to see him for a week and a half. We get home, and you got all these prizes laid out, and you go through them one by one, like, wow, that's neat. This is neat. That's a nice buckle.
You have your Pendleton Roundup buckle on, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stand up. The 3 bucking horses.
Yes, I mean, it's a cowboy buckle, and to win it with Begay, I was putting it on as soon as I could get it, which it would have been right then, but they wouldn't let me. I had to wait till I got it a week and a half.
What buckle just out of curiosity, what buckle are you wearing?
I won this buckle here back in 2007 here. Charlie Horkey had the Hork Dog roping at the South Point. When they first kind of opened the South Point, it was just a team roping jackpot. This was back in 2007. I was just starting to kind of break away from home and kind of enter some jackpots. That was the first biggest jackpot I kind of went to. All the big names were there, and the end of the night, 1:30 in the morning, I ended up winning the roping, and that's where I think I won like 21,000. That's where I bought my card, and that's where I started to go. And so this is a really special buckle to me. It's just what started it all. So that's
good story.
That's what I wear it.
Good story. Never forget. For those of you who don't know, Derrick revealed to me that his dream job is to be the bull shagger at PBRs, right? That's like your favorite thing. And from us to you that work there, the bullfighters, us in production, we know when Derrick Begay's roping bulls, there is very little chance of anything going wrong. I watched you. They have those bullfights. Remember this, Richard? Bullfights, and there was nobody will take their horses in the arena with those fighting bulls because they don't want their horse to get hurt. There was a bull standing with his butt to Derrick. He's out here. He pitches the rope, bounces it off the ground, and ropes this bull by the neck. I have it on video, Derrick. That's tricky stuff. Like, you love doing that. You told me that was your dream job.
Well, I think I wanted to be a bull rider. That's where the dream started.
And all you are is a big buffalo rider, right?
Yeah.
I know I have that video too.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wrote down on paper how I wanted to be a bull rider, and I was fascinated by it. And I rode steers, I rode cows, and that's where it stopped there. But I always was just connected to bull riding. It was the first thing I kind of got to see on TV, and I just see all the bull riders, knew their names, knew all the bulls. I was pretty knowledgeable about it, but the older I got, I knew I wasn't going to be one, and that was the next best thing that I think I could do that was involved with bull riding, and that was working for these bull ridings and the PBR, and it's been a dream come true. So you are right. It was one of my dream jobs, and so it's something I like doing.
So, Colter, you'll believe when I was working and I was on that middle shark cage, if Derrick Begay rode his horse up and said something to me, there's a good chance it was pretty funny. Like everybody just sees him like this. He always has input for me.
Yes, and it can be, I mean, funny. And yet, like he'll see something that happened that I would miss. Like he doesn't miss anything.
So we're in downtown Phoenix, Arizona one time, and they had the chief of the Navajo Nation there, and his name was Begay. And I walked over to Derrick. He was roping bulls. I said, "That's a chief, and his name Begay. How are you related to him?" And Derrick, that long pause, and he said, "Begay is like Jones to you white guys." True, isn't it?
Yeah. Begay is a pretty common last name. So when I travel through the country, Begays are everywhere, and I'll run into someone like, "Hey, I know so and so. Are you related to him?" And most of the time, I'm not, and I have to kind of give them that line like, Begay. It's kind of like Smith and Jones for you guys. It's just a common last name.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to move on to Dawson, but I always have my Derrick. That's one Derrick Begay quote. The other one is, if you're fat, you're a Yazzie. If you're skinny, you're a Begay. That's the other one. And the last one, before I let you go, because you probably won't say it, is Derrick told me one time, he said, "You know, Flint, I have an advantage over you. If we play Cowboys and Indians, I can play two parts. You can only play one." True. That's probably a good point. Guys, stick around for when Dawson comes up. I appreciate you guys. Give it up, Colter, Todd, Derrick Begay. Wish them luck all week. Real quick message from our friends Montana Silversmiths. Back 30 seconds. Crowd today. We're officially, we just got official word we're sold out today. Good job. It's free, but we're still sold out. This is Teresa. Turn around, say hi to everybody, Teresa. Teresa's from Illinois. What's the name of the town? Cissna Park. Oh yeah, my cousin. Nah, I'm lying. You were whooping and hollering. That little horse trailer bar that serves Pendleton whiskey, there's a couple free drinks from me to you. For me. So your husband will have more fun with you today. Wait here, hold on. Hold on. There's some free stuff that tells everybody you love Pendleton whiskey. Your nephew's a roper, so you love ropers? And he works for Chad Masters. All right. Does Chad Masters pay him? Probably not. He's a team roper. So, well, thank you. Hey, we got a time limit, Teresa. I love you. I love you. And I want to welcome my next guest. I've had him scheduled before, but we've had conflicts in the past. His dad is one of my heroes to watch in rodeo, and he and his brothers are superstars in the U.S. and Canada. Please welcome NFR saddle bronc rider from Canada, Mr. Dawson Hay. Doss. Did you listen to these guys? How would you do going to the deserts of Arizona and gathering wild cattle and doing cowboy stuff with these guys?
Yeah.
Right there.
Right here?
There you go,
Oh,
yeah.
that's good, yeah. I think I would, they're definitely about 10 times the cowboys I am. I can ride bucking horses, but when it comes to roping wild bulls, it's not my forte.
You wouldn't
I'd
have
like
to rope. You wouldn't have to rope. You could dress up like a cowboy.
I just,
You could put your cowboy clothes on and through the scrubs. And
I would love to do it. I'd love to go out there. Will I be the most handiest, the most amount of help? Who knows?
what do you think?
It's funny. We're supposed to have grand entry rehearsal a couple of days ago. So all these rough stock guys, they're up on all these saddle horses. It's kind of good to see them, and they're having fun, hooping and hollering and jerking these horses around. And we're sitting there looking at them. I was like, I wonder how many of these guys would be fun to have at home. And he's one guy I picked out. He was the most wildest one, running through everybody, and like, I was like, that's the guy right there. I think he'd do good. So.
Well, he's Canadian. He has no regard for the human body at all.
Not much. Definitely not much, yeah.
You guys, listen, I've been to Canada. I used to work in Canada. I went to Calgary. Richard and I went to Calgary. We tried to keep up with Canadians, and our bodies did not like it. When we drive across the border, going to the Calgary Stampede, they open a case and give us a Canadian liver. And they say, give us yours. Then when you leave the country, they give you your liver back.
You
Yeah,
know, that's not all that impressive, but if you know Richard and he couldn't outdrink him, you would really appreciate
Yeah.
that.
No regard for you guys are tough in Canada too, man.
Yeah, it's cold up there in the winter, and the days are short. There's not as much to do. I think that might have something to do with it.
How was the day yesterday? What was the mood of, did you take advantage of the day? Did you relax? That was a weird day yesterday. The rodeo round 1 gets canceled. Let down. What was your feeling yesterday?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you mentally prepare for, the last 2 months leading up to it. On this day you're going to be getting on at the Thomas and Mack, and then I don't know. It just last night felt like we should all been out there, and so yeah, it was hard to kind of wind down when you've set yourself up for that.
Yeah. You went this morning. Your brother Logan has been here with you. He had a bad injury, I believe, in Redding, right? Was it Redding, California?
Yeah.
Broke his arm.
Yeah.
Is he back riding? Is he healthy again?
Yeah, he got to finish the season off, and he did really well at the end of the year. Just didn't get to go to as many rodeos as he wanted to, and but he actually took off right as the finals, right as we took off down here. He headed to Australia, so he's chasing kangaroos around down there.
Nice. And then your younger brother, Devin? Is that
Devin,
your
yeah.
younger brother? You told me you were at the South Point this morning watching him ride in the permit challenge. How'd that go for him?
In the Stace Smith
Oh, the
bucket
bucking
horse
horse
futurity.
set.
Yeah,
Okay.
he fell off,
Oh.
but it was a good effort. Lots
Yeah,
of guys
okay.
fell off. It's too
So
early
did
for
he-
bucking horses.
Too early in the day?
In Las Vegas.
So did he fall off or did he get bucked off? Did they buck him down?
I'm going to say he didn't measure his rein right.
How is he? He's a little feller. It's weird that your littlest brother looks really, really young. That's weird.
Yeah, he's a great little bronc rider. He's just about if he gets one covered, it either goes really good or he falls off. But he got in a really bad wreck too last year, and so it was a while for him to get back. He had broke his leg, and it got compartment syndrome, and he had skin grafts and the whole thing, and he was in rough shape there for a little while, but didn't seem to bother him. As soon as he got healthy enough to get on, he's back at her.
And your dad's over there. You know what the biggest, I'm outspoken of this publicly any chance I get. I know that the PRCA Pro Rodeo needs a standard to set to get in the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. One of those standards is you got to be a world champion as a contestant to be in the Hall of Fame. The biggest crime in professional rodeo is that Rod Hay is not in the Pro Rodeo Cowboys Hall of Fame. I think there needs to be something changed. I mean, I talked to Dan Mortensen, who's one of your heroes, kind of, right? Absolutely. And Dan Mortensen said, if not as a contestant, as a guy who influenced generations of saddle bronc riders, right?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone in the world that likes saddle bronc riding more than my dad. It's he thinks about it every day. He knows more of the horses than I do, and he's obsessed with raising bucking horses. And I think a lot of the reason there's such a pile of Canadian bronc riders right now are guys like Roddy and Skeeter and stuff in Canada. They after they were done riding, they always put on schools, and even throughout their careers, they were putting on, schools throughout the year and giving kids a chance to start.
Oh, and it's funny you mentioned that. That was my next question. There are 4 Canadians in the saddle bronc riding this year. There could be 7. There could be your brother, who's missing, Wanchuk?
Wanchuk, yeah. Case Thompson, Q Taylor was right close in there, and no, there's a whole mess of them that we're fairly close.
What if we had just a bronc riding, like an invitational, and it was Canadians and last name of Wright? That would be a good bronc ride. Okay,
That's
like
basically what the NFR is.
Yeah, I know. It was last year. What if, if you had Spencer and Rusty and Ryder, get Jesse and Jake back out, and you could have a big match.
Cody will probably get on another one. Yeah.
Now you got Stu kicking around there.
Stu, no blue Stu.
No blue Stu.
Yeah, with the black shirts. Yeah.
Out of nowhere, Stu's been around. And they're like, oh, is that another son? No, that's Cody's brother. Like,
yeah. Stu's awesome. He's hilarious.
No blue Stu.
No blue Stu. Yeah.
He doesn't wear a blue shirt. The only one. What are the chances? Is he progressing? We need to ask Stu about that.
Yeah, I don't know if he is trying to poke at the Express, maybe trying to push the Express deal. Like, maybe. Hey, I'm not wearing the blue shirts, but yeah. I don't know.
Hey, real quick, you guys, before I let you go, how's that? The Wednesday morning, round number 6. Any different approach? We got yesterday. Timed event guys roping bulldog and slack all the time. It's a slack performance. You just said too early in the morning to ride bucking horses. 10 o'clock in the morning next Wednesday you do. Little different mindset. How do you approach that?
Yeah, we actually had to get on at 8 in the morning at Fort Worth, or at Tulsa at the American qualifier this year. And so I'm just going to think about that. It went good, but yeah. I mean, it is early, but it's pretty hard not to get excited when you walk in that building, no matter what time it is.
Still pays $30,000 to win, doesn't it?
I hope so.
You guys, you ropers, you're used to it. Run one in the morning in slack and run one in the performance that night. Not all that uncommon, is it?
No, I hope we're going to be used to it. But they always say you can't prepare for Las Vegas, or you can't imagine. There ain't no rodeo like this, no rodeo close to Las Vegas, so we're just going to go with it and see how it goes.
Listen to you guys. I appreciate you coming. Doss, see, it's fun. Tell your brother when you're both here next year, or all 3 of you, or whatever.
Yeah, we had to fake a cold last year or something.
You told me you had some commitment. It was a good excuse.
Yeah, no, I'll come back next year.
And you tell your dad, 20-time NFR qualifier Rod Hay, that I'm campaigning for him to get in the Hall of Fame.
Awesome. Well,
so yeah.
He showed me a picture of you actually this morning in Bonneville.
He showed
1989.
1990, it would have been 1995.
95,
because I remember the year, Bonneville, Alberta, Canada. Yep. I was at the arena, and I visited with old Vern Franklin, the stock contractor, and I still had my makeup on. All I had to do is drive up Main Street to go to the hotel. So I just left my makeup on. Drunk driver head on to me on the main street and wrecked my pickup. And the Mounties came, and the cop looks in my window. He goes, Oh, your mom dresses you funny when she sends you out, hey? I said, shut your ass. Like this. Yeah, no kid. Bonneville, Alberta, they made fun of my accent.
Yeah. They made you do a roadside sobriety, too, with your outfit.
They didn't, actually, thank God. So anyway, I appreciate it. Tell your mom and dad I said hello. Colt, Derrick, appreciate you. We'll cheer extra loud for you tonight. Give all these guys a hand. Dawson, Derrick, Colter, Todd. We'll be right back. Ned Ledoux, don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Here comes a Texas two-step Las Vegas style. Woo!
Me a nod. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Those guys are good, aren't they? I don't know. I'm intrigued. I love real cowboy stuff. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for all of you standing back there that can't get a seat. Got to get here earlier. These people know what's up. Got to get here earlier. Very excited to have this next guest on the show. He is what we call a friend of the show. Please give it up for our friend, country music superstar, Ned Ledoux. Which one were you? Is that your chord? Yeah. Okay, here, sit down, Ned. Brought his guitar, broken guitar. Have a seat. We'll get you ready, just so we're ready when you're ready. There you go. Good to see you.
You too.
I wish I had a count. Somewhere I have a count of how many times you've been on this show.
Well, we've been playing the Silverton for, this is our 7th year. But I know I did come to town before we really had a gig in town, but I just came to see you.
Yeah. Now, it's easy, and it seems like it's always Friday. You always play Thursday, Friday.
Usually, yeah.
Did you play last night?
We did. Yeah, we played last night. We got one more night at the Silverton, and then we fly to play a show in Camas, Utah tomorrow night, and then that'll wrap it up for the year.
Yeah. The Silverton deal, you're like, see, I announced we're sold out today.
Yeah.
Just like you at the Silverton.
It's a free show.
It's been good, though, hasn't it? I keep up with everything you do. You guys, this thing, isn't it great to make a living making music?
It is, yeah. The old saying, if you can make a living at doing what you love to do, you never have to work a day in your life. I'm living the dream, and I'm pretty blessed. Yeah.
Kurt said you're the 5th in the top 5 most famous people ever from Wyoming.
Oh yeah. Well.
Now, technically, hold on. So you don't actually live in Wyoming anymore.
Nope.
And I would say Chris Ledoux's in the top 5, but technically he wasn't from Wyoming.
Not originally, born in Biloxi, lived in Texas for a while, and lived in France. His dad was in the Air Force, so he was all over the place. Yeah. But
the fact that he lived in Texas actually kind of disqualifies him.
I just moved up the list, didn't I?
You moved up the list. So you're in Kansas.
Yeah.
But you're a KC. What's the
Buckaroos?
The old KC Buckaroos.
Yeah. Yeah, Northeast Kansas. It's got a certain charm about it, and we live out in the sticks, and it kind of reminds me a little bit about KC, Wyoming. It's a small community and a lot of farmers around there, and my father-in-law is cowboy from his boots to the hair on his head, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of my own dad, So he's a really neat guy, and my wife just has a great family, So it's good.
Nice. Before I let you sing, this fall I wore a felt hat shaped like that, and when I did TV, and the bullfighters in the bullfighter room started calling me CL. They said, that's your old bareback jacket. Looked like an old retired bareback jacket.
Yeah, it's getting a little years, miles on it, but it fits.
Yeah. Is that his hat still?
No,
Because you wore his hat for a while, didn't you?
no, I never did wear
So
his
that
hat.
was the rumor.
That was, yeah, I get it still today that, oh, you're wearing your dad's hat. It's like, well, my dad was just about 6 feet tall, and I'm about 6'4", and my head's bigger. So, no, yeah, his hats are hanging up in Mom's house along with the championship buckle and all that stuff. But Dad did teach me how to shape your own hat, so I just kind of picked up on
Listen,
that.
Ned, there are a lot of country music singers that did not have a dad that taught them that, how to shape their hat.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Can we plug you in?
Sure.
Because we have a deal. You get set up. We have a deal with Ned. We let him sing, and Ned is always one of those artists. When we were under a little more time crunch, we always had to leave time for people who could sing 2 songs. Ned was always that guy. And our deal we have is Ned sings one of his songs, and then he's got to sing one of his old man songs. If that's okay with everybody.
All right.
Look at it.
works.
Successful sound check. Okay, what do you want to say? I want to hear one of your songs, Ned. What do you want to sing today?
Well, I played 2 other songs earlier today. This one moves along pretty
Wait,
good.
you did another show besides this? Oh,
Well,
I feel
but
like I've been cheated
I
on.
was building up to this one.
Okay, good.
The greatest show on the strip, But so this is off of my latest album, Buckskin, and there's kind of a cool story that goes behind this song. So I've been very fortunate to be able to work with one of the greatest songwriters, guitar players, producers, Mac McAnally. Yeah. And he produced the last 3 albums that Dad put out. And so they're going into the studio, or getting ready for the Horsepower album, Dad's last one. And Mac had written this song with Dad in mind. And Mac also wrote the song Horsepower. And so I don't know if they went out to supper the night before, and Dad said, man, I'm excited about these songs that we picked out. This is going to be a good album. We got some good stuff. With that being said, Mac was like, well, I guess I'll put this song in my back pocket. And so that's where it stayed for almost 18 years. And so I was in the studio to record my 3rd album, and Mac told me a way better story than I could. And he said, yeah, this is actually kind of meant for your dad, but I think it'd fit you pretty good. And I guarantee if Dad would have put out another album, it would have been on there. So, yeah, it moves along. Here we go. Well, he loved the horses and he loved to ride. The sound of the spurs and smell of rawhide. He had 0 money, a whole lot of pride. He was hoping that would be enough. The first few times that a fella gets thrown takes a mighty strong will to get back on, get a mouth full of dust, break some bones, and you notice that the going gets tough. Hey, welcome to the upside of the ground. It'll break you fall like an old rag doll and toss you all around. Well, up in the air, you better be aware you still got to come back down. Hey, welcome to the upside of the ground. Well, he gave it what he thought was the best he had. He was thinking to himself, it wasn't half bad. His mama was proud, but his daddy looked mad when they came to the rodeo. He said, son, if you're ever going to amount to anything, you got to work at least as hard as you dream. Maybe you got the talent, but from what I've seen, you got a long way to go. Hey, welcome to the upside of the ground. It'll break you fall, make a big man small, and bounce you all around. Well, up in the air, you better be aware you still got to come back down. Hey, welcome to the upside of the ground. Yeah. Well, now life is a little like a rodeo. You can clown around or even watch the show, but if you want to ride, friend, you need to know not everybody wins a prize. Now, the moral of the story, as far as I can tell, is here on earth between heaven and hell, anything worth doing is worth doing well. In the morning when you open your eyes, say, welcome to the upside of the ground. It'll break you fall, this big blue ball will bounce you all around. Well, up in the air, you better be aware you still got to come back down. Hey, welcome to the upside of the ground. Yeah, welcome to the upside of the ground.
I see it.
Yeah, you can clown around, you know.
I can clown around. That probably would have been on your dad's next album. I can hear that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, guaranteed. Yeah.
So yeah, our deal is because you did a deal where you'd go and pick the album and play a song. You were playing all your dad's songs in your garage.
Yeah, that's where it started. Was and the thing is, I never bothered learning anybody else's songs but his. I think I did learn one Charlie Daniels song because I love Charlie Daniels. But yeah, played drums for my dad for almost 7 years. And then when he passed, I joined up with a different band that was, we played in the Midwest a lot. And we got back to the hotel after the gig, and it was Dustin Evans and the Good Times Band. And Dustin gave me the guitar. He'd played a few songs in the corner, and he got up to go get a beer or something and handed me the guitar. And said, here, Ned, why don't you sing one of your dad's songs? I was like, Dustin, I don't sing. What are you talking about? So it never even was a thought for a long time. But I was driving back home after that gig. I think it was in Nebraska somewhere in Lincoln. So I had a lot of time to kind of think about stuff from Lincoln, Nebraska to KC, Wyoming. And I was just thinking, man, that would be kind of fun to maybe just learn a handful of songs where if I'm sitting around a cheap motel or just sit on my front porch and just sing something different. Yeah. And so that's led me to where I am today.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna let you start some. I'm not gonna say which one. Made a deal. My daughter and I, on the way here, she said, man, I wish you'd sing that one song. And you said, I was kind of planning on it anyway. So I won't tell them what song it is. I'll just let you. The one thing about these songs, you don't really have to describe them. This one needs no introduction. Please give it up, Ned Ledoux, everybody.
I was sitting in a coffee shop just having a cup to pass the time, swapping rodeo stories with this old cowboy friend of mine, when some motorcycle riders started snickering in the back and started poking fun at my friend's hat. One old boy said, hey Tex, where you park your horse? My friend just pulled his hat down low, but they couldn't be ignored. And one husky fella said, I think I'll rip that hat right off your head. That's when my friend turned around, and this is what he said. If you ride a black tornado across a western sky, open old blue norther and milk it till it's dry. Bulldog to Mississippi, pin its ears down flat, long before you take this cowboy's hat. Partner, this old hat, it's better left alone. You see, it used to be my dad's. Last year he passed on. My nephew skinned the rattler that makes up this old hat band. But back in '69, he died in Vietnam. Now the eagle feather was given to me by an Indian friend of mine. But somebody ran him down somewhere around that Arizona line. And a real special lady gave me this hat pin. But I don't know if I'll ever see her again. Well, you ride a black tornado across a western sky, rope an old blue norther and milk it till it's dry. Bulldog to Mississippi, pin its ears down flat, long before you take this cowboy's hat. Now, if that old leather jacket means to you what this hat means to me, well, I guess we understand each other. We'll just let it be. But if you still think it's funny, man, you got my back up against the wall. And if you touch my hat, you're going to have to fight us all. And right then, I caught a little sadness in that gang leader's eyes. He turned back to the others, and they all just kind of shuffled on outside. But when my friend turned back toward me, I noticed his old hat brim. It was turned up in a big Wyoming grin. Well, you'll ride a black tornado across a western sky. Open no blue norther and milk it till it's dry. Oh, dog to Mississippi, pin its ears down flat. Long before you take this cowboy's hat. Thank you. Well, thanks.
So good. Listen, we always appreciate you. But from me, Kurt and I, what we talk about, we appreciate you coming here, singing all your great songs. More than that, and I think people should know this, we appreciate your friendship.
Absolutely.
The Ned Ledoux you get here is the Ned Ledoux you get everywhere, and we appreciate that. We
Well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you
always,
so much.
Always. Thanks to everybody today. Huge day today. Another big day tomorrow. Tomorrow, great show. Bareback rider Kate Saunier, Tristan Hutchings, bull rider. Both great college, great athletes as well. And you don't want to miss, you'll vouch for me here, songwriter and sort of singer, but a true entertainer, Mr. Win Varble will join us tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, everybody, right here outside the barrel. Thanks to Ned. See you tomorrow, everybody.